Hello and welcome for a new episode at Mindset Mastery. I'm your host, Ahmed Assaf, and today we have an amazing guest. He's a friend. His name is Imad Shmaitilli. How are you, Imad, today?
Hello, doing great. Thank you for hosting.
You're welcome. Imad, I just want to start with you because I know Imad, he was in the engineering field. And just I contact and I found out that Imad make a great shift from engineering to empowerment. So could you tell us a little bit about that shift and what inspired you to make that transition?
Definitely. Thank you again for hosting and looking forward for a shared experience from both sides. As you mentioned, I studied at college mechanical engineering because, at my age, that was the trend. So parents would you'd either be the engineer of the family, the doctor of the family, the lawyer of the family. So I think I was the engineer of the family. I liked engineering. What I liked about is the critical thinking, the problem solving techniques. So I liked mechanics. But the first year after working in this field,
Mhm.
I didn't find my passion there. There was something missing. I'm doing something I like, but the spark was a little bit missing. So what happened in the next year, I was asked to do a training on conflict resolution for children. And it was my first training experience. So I wanted to master this training. So I did my research. What's the core of conflict, the type of conflict, how to overcome conflict, how to do training activities with children. They were in the age of 8 till 11. And to be honest, the whole process between preparation and implementation, it was enjoying for myself. And it was pure voluntary. Couple of months later, I was offered the same training, but with a budget for my training. So I was like thinking between myself, I was like 22, 20 years old. I'm doing something I like. I'm doing something I'm good at. I'm helping the community and I'm getting paid for it. So this is definitely my new career path. So I shifted from engineering into training, empowerment, and leadership. And I've been in this field for the past 13 years.
Mhm.
However, I do not regret the engineering years because, as I mentioned, engineering they teach you problem solving, conflict, problems, critical thinking, and much. But the thing I found myself is in the new career path, which is between leadership, training, and empowerment.
I love what you said that mentality of our families that we have to have a doctor because we are conditioned to have that. And this would get us to a point that I don't like what I'm doing. And lots of people are having that things that they are stuck with their results because they're doing things that they really don't like what they're doing. So if through your experience, when do you think a person should stop and ask himself, what do I really want? And just make that shift and don't be afraid of what's going to happen for him or her. So, is there a certain point that you feel that enough is enough, or you think that whenever you feel stuck, you have to ask yourself, or how would be doing that shift exactly? Because you had the opportunity to make a training and you found yourself. But if you want to talk with someone, how he could discover himself or herself to see to see what do they really want.
I think the generation of today are blessed because they have plenty of opportunities among them. So myself, I meet with youth of the age 15, 16, 18, before their choice of university or college, in order to try to trigger what's trendy and what's they're passionate about and what's they're capable about. So
Mhm.
just to start with your question, it's never too late to do a shift. If you feel yourself stuck, not happy, you're not finding your passion, not able to create a positive impact, I think it's the time in order to make a change. But definitely with age, change becomes more rigid at some point. At younger age, if we speak about the school years, which is like between 15 and 18, my advice to all youth is to try to explore themselves. And how do you explore themselves? By knocking the door of every opportunity. If there is like one training, go attend the training. If there's a volunteering work, go volunteer. If there's a part-time job, go do that part-time job. Because sitting at the comfort of your couch, you will not be able to explore what you actually like. Once you go into the field, let's say you've done an amazing volunteering work in the field of environmental. So you might click because like engineering now is a very wide scope. So maybe you like engineering and you're capable of, but when you exposed yourself to a volunteering environmental program, now you find your passion mutual between engineering and environment. So you could create something, for example, related to both. And now we have some green policies when it comes to law, governance, lobbying. So eventually, the more opportunities you knock, the more activities you engage on, and the more you will find yourself. Sometimes you will find yourself by not liking it. So you've done this activity and definitely this is not me. So this is on a younger age. When it comes to college, it's never too late also to change. I've known many couple of friends and colleagues who were stuck in their first year and they discovered, no, this is not the major which I want. And over here, there was this, shall I continue? And because I don't want to lose this year, or should I lose this year and follow something which I like and I'm good at? Definitely, if there's something which is not triggering your heart in the first years of college, try it out because you'll not be able to sustain this thing and you will be stuck. Because as I mentioned, the older you become, the more difficult it is to switch from your side. So if it's the first step you've done in the college, you could step back and explore more opportunities. And there's a new trend, which is the gap year. Some students now, instead to explore themselves, they are skipping like 1 year of college so that they would do something, activities, internship, other activities just to explore themselves. So it's never too late to do this switch. I know there is some huge demand when it comes to the family, workload, economic crisis, and many things worldwide, which this trigger, I want this job, I want this pocket money, but this is not sustainable for sure. I'm not telling you to blindly follow your passion because sometimes it might lead you nowhere. So try to balance between what's logical and what's something you like. So if you may allow me to, I will continue now when it comes to the work field. So now you
Yes.
graduated and you started working and now you feel yourself stuck. This is more triggery because I'll share with you a couple of stories from my colleagues. Everyone thinks that it's very easy to become an entrepreneur. I want to leave. You hear these messages. I will leave the 9 to 5 work. I will do my own thing.
Those
I will
motivation.
create my own business. Exactly. So, no, my message to you is it's not that easy. So until you have your own experience, you have your own network, you have your own base, and you can do the calculation. Now it's time for me to shift. So do not do a shift without thinking logically. I want to share one thing. From 2013 to 2017, I was having a full-time job and doing training and empowerment in parallel until the time I found now my training, my second income is almost equal and more from the fixed income. I decided in order to leave my full-time job and move into freelancing, training, and empowerment. So it's very important to calculate the pros and cons of each step before doing it, but definitely do not stop until you find the flame which triggers your heart.
I love that. So the main purpose in leadership and even in guiding and empowering others is just create this peak performance, just create those quantum leaps in their life. So what, from your experience, like around 15 years in this field, from your experience, what do you think the more effective strategies that worked or methods that work with you to create that shifts or to get them to their peak performance?
I've realized throughout these years that every individual has their own motivation, and motivation is what triggers a human beings. So I believe in one small mathematical equation, which is performance is ability times motivation. So sometimes you find people hugely capable of doing one task, but they have no motivation. You will find no performance. And vice versa, you find people with zero ability, but they are highly motivated, they work on themselves, and they try to achieve something. So it's always between ability versus motivation. Motivation is like more personal. So if you have a team, every individual have different motives in their life. Some people are motivated by financials, which is something very reasonable, because some people are here because they want to make money, they want to raise a family, they want to get kids. Okay, this is fine. Another people might be motivated by achievement, so they want to see progress, they want to see success. Some people they want experience, others they want recognition. So it's very important as a leader to find what is the true motive of the individual, because this motive is what drives them to do the better performance. So we need to seek the need, because sometimes principles, personalities, other this, they are motivation, but they are a little bit weaker. The stronger motivation the human being has is their need, and the need differs from one person to another. So number one is motivation. Second comes the ability. I really like individuals who know themselves they are weak, but they are willing to improve. And I dislike people who know that they are strong, but they are not willing to improve. So it's all about, I like this quote, it's do not fear of slow motion, but fear of stagnation. So eventually, what you want when it comes to the ability, if people are willing to progress, they try, they work hard, definitely they will reach somewhere. Other individuals where they are no willingness to learn or get positive feedback, they will stay at their position. So I think the ultimate way to optimize the performance of any team is to focus on their motivation and to work on empowering their skills.
I love that. So you mean by your motivation is their desires, what they really want more than anything else, right? Amazing.
Definitely, definitely.
So through this your journey, the continuous learning was a principle for you. And how could you, or how would you just incorporate this with your clients to keep, because it's not with your clients, they have to know something it's not something, it's a destination that, okay, we took a course or we took something and that's it, we're done. So how you could incorporate and press this in their journey.
The first thing we need to learn is that, as you mentioned, leadership and utmost performance isn't just like somewhere where you could reach. It's maybe you might finish your 2 years leadership position and you haven't achieved your goal, but at least you are satisfied that you put the organization on track. So the first thing is that it's very important to have a strategy, and a long-term strategy, 5 to 7 years, in order to see what we are moving on forward. It's also important to monitor and evaluate your progress throughout to see whether the organization is moving on the right track or not. So this is mainly when it comes to seeing the progress on a long term. When it comes to the principles of outstanding performance, I believe it's the like one thing which should be there is the belonging to the organization. So even if you're there for a short term or even for a long term, the more belonging you have, the more you are able to invest within time and power in order to make this happen. Not sure if this answered your question. You could
Yeah,
rephrase if
I
you
mean
want.
by that is the necessity of continuous learning for your clients. That's what I'm looking for. Is they thought that if we took a course or for a leadership course, let's say, or we took a seminar or an event, whatever it is, oh, okay, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. And they thought that it's a destination. So that's what my question, how you could just align this with their thoughts, that the necessity of continuous learning, it's a necessity to align that with their thoughts, with their feelings, and with their actions.
Definitely. I believe that the learning should never stop,
Yes.
whether it was academic learning or life learning.
Mhm.
In the academic learning, there's always some new trends, new methods, new principles in order to learn about. And trust me, within this 15 years, some principles are fixed, other principles are changing. Some principles, they defeat the previous principle and they work on a new one. So definitely, as we come to the 2025 year, we know that change is very quick and you have to adapt with the change or you will be left behind. So this is when it comes to the academic learning. So whenever there's an opportunity for a seminar, an online course, a training, a workshop, you have to seek this, because definitely if it's not there knowledge, it's the people you meet or the network you find. Second, it's all about experience. So when you attend a course or attend a workshop with someone, it's not just the actual knowledge you are taking, but rather the experience. So, for example, when I talk about leadership, I don't just use theoretical principles. I use life experience, which I've been to. So for the past years, in 2022 to 2024, I have been part of Toastmasters International Organization. So I applied leadership in this position for the sake of 2 years. 1 year as a club president, 1 year as an area director. So this theoretical has been applied. So when I now deliver a training, I can share some experiences I learned from this experience. From 2017 to 2022, I was leading an organization as well, a volunteering organization. Another one, a business project. So all this experience is shaped out with the academic framework and is being given to the trainees so that they understand that learning doesn't just happen in the classroom or in workshops, it happens in life as well.
Amazing. So as your leadership transformation, it's part of your identity. It's the center part of your work. What would you say that what qualities or behaviors do you believe they are crucial for leaders to embody to inspire and guide their teams effectively?
Okay, that's tricky. So
You could
looking
tell us,
back at
because
it,
tell us the most three, let's say, the most three qualities and the behaviors that are the most.
let me tell you,
Yes,
I can think of 4 things right now.
sure.
One thing is getting the permission of the team, and we don't mean by permission is like may allow me, yes, because sometimes the team needs to feel that we chose this leader in order to lead us. We agree that there should be a leader in every team, whether this team is a football team, whether it's like a sports activity, organization, volunteering, corporate business. So there should be a leader leading the team. So in order to feel that the support of your individuals, you should to take permission. And this permission is like by showing them that you are on the same page, we're on the same level, and you want to reach the same goal. The second quality is achievement. So individuals and the team must see that our organization is achieving progress, achieving goals, KPIs, milestones, whatsoever. So I need to see that although they are serving the success of the organization, but they want to develop their capabilities as well. So I need to learn new things. And here comes the door of a leader. And now in top organizations, they have a learning and development position, because the purpose of this staff member in the HR department is to develop the skills of individuals. Because the more I feel that this organization is helping me, I'll be helping it in return. And the more developed our team is, the better performance you have as a company. And the fourth principle would be the charisma, for sure. Every successful leader has to have a very good charisma, has to know when to motivate, when to speak, how to speak, and how to express in order to lead the team in a proper way. So 4 principles: permission from the team, achievements of goals, development of skills, and definitely charisma and a good character.
I love that. So if you could tell us a little bit more about the personal and professional growth programs that you're giving, just give us your insights and what makes them they are unique and powerful, because there's lots of programs in the market. And how do you just say that it's the best for personal and professional growth?
It was shocking for me at the beginning of this year. I was doing some calculations and I was like, wow, I've been 13 years in this field. I've been doing a sum of the number of trainees I've delivered. Thank you.
You have to celebrate that.
So I've delivered, definitely. What's the celebrate? I've delivered more than 10,000 training hours to
Right.
more than 20,000 trainees. So I think these numbers reflect not also about the skills and sharing the knowledge, but also the experience. But there's one thing to watch out from the start. In the field, you find many trainers who haven't lived the experience of working. So you will find a project manager give theoretical project management and have never experienced a project by themselves. You will find an individual giving you training on entrepreneurship and they haven't been into the field. Okay, so it's more I'm checking out, I'm reading, I'm delivering a knowledge. So what's significant about my program is the profile I had. For the past 13 and 15 years, I've had like more than 100 projects in different fields in educational technology, in community service, even in politics. I've worked a little bit in politics as well. So that the diversification and exposure to different entities, different individuals, different countries, this gives you the experience and gives you power in what you are sharing knowledge about. So definitely, I will be sharing the same principle of leadership as any trainer would give or any program would. But to spice things up, you'll be giving some good, valuable, sharing success stories, lessons learned from the experience you have.
I love that. That's their choice, is they have to look for like coaches or mentors that they have already results in their life, which definitely you have like great results, Imad. I really appreciate that. That's really amazing. So if you could, because I know you have a huge vision to impact the globe. You want to do something bigger and bigger. So could you tell us a little bit about what would be your vision and your inspiration and your future goals?
My future goals are based on frustration. Why is that? As I move into the streets of my country and even when I travel, I see people who are being brainwashed. They are being brainwashed by social media. They are being brainwashed by politicians, by systems, by operations, and such. So my vision or my dream is I will want to create a positive impact on the community. But it's very challenging because it's not just about rehabilitation or fixing out, issues, public property, something like that. It's about the individual. So for the past 10, 15, 20 years, people are being brainwashed, and you can see this by ongoing just clicking into social media. You'll see the amount of trends which are not intellectual. You can see the people being abused, being not properly taking the track of their life. So, in my program or in my life, I spend actually literally, I was checking my schedule last week, 60% of my time is voluntary. And I never regret this because I feel that this is what I'm giving back to the community. I have like a plan or a vision to make my city a better city. And from my city to go to the country, and from the country to go to the region, and from the region to go into humanity. And we'll get back to that. It's not a destination. I know that this will not happen in 1 year, 10 years, or 15, or maybe 100 years, but at least I'm trying myself in order to change 1% of the community I'm in. To me, I am satisfied, and hopefully to meet more people like-minded like you, so that the impact will be bigger, like a ripple effect. Like you drop one pebble into the pond, and you see the bigger ripple effect it does. And hopefully, my vision is to do that as well.
I just wanted to tell you, Imad, you're not alone. And there's lots of people sharing those thoughts because, as you said lately, there's lots of people that are lost or affected, so much brainwashed with the social media. So that's why we have to create that community where they can learn, grow, and lead together. And that's the purpose of this podcast. And I hope you enjoyed us with today with this an amazing podcast. So what would be your last message to our audience?
I'll have two messages.
Sure.
One message is keep on listening to this podcast because I've been listening to the couple ones before. They are truly inspiring. And
Thank
sometimes
you.
this is what we actually want. We want one flame in order to kindle our passion and to kindle our work, which we want to work on. The second message would be is experience every opportunity you have, and you definitely miss all the shots you do not take. So always take shots, take opportunities. Even if you miss 99, you will take that one shot. And one maybe cliche message is like aim to the moon. Even if you miss, you land on a star. So always dream big, achieve, follow your heart, but always keep it directed by your brain, and this will lead you to the proper destination.
Really amazing closing, Ahmad. I wish you all the success and thank you so much and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you again for hosting. See you again.
Thank you.
Bye bye.